Yeah, that's what I mean. Oh, Jesus!
All right. What is up, people? Welcome back to EWSorBUST Season 3, Episode 1, the Preseason. This episode of EWSorBUST is brought to you by hookitproducts.co.uk. If you head on over to hookitproducts.co.uk, you can check out some of the world's best mountain bike brands and also take advantage of 10% off by entering the promo code EWSorBUST. This episode is also supported by Remap Clothing, and the good folks over at Remap have been very kind and set up the exact same discount code EWSorBUST, all lowercase, and you will get 10% off your entire order over there too. That's two companies coming together to make magic. All right, Rich, let's drop in on some music and get on with this episode.
Wow. Let's do it.
Keep very calm. Give me all your money. Try to count to 10. Little doesn't know it's about to begin. Push it too far, you're the killing machine.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you listened to Zeb before?
Yeah, bud.
Dude. How good is Zeb?
He's very good. Me and Zeb kind of grew up racing and stuff together. So we're a similar age. Yeah. So we used to do dragons, and we did other races and stuff like that. And we've done some EWS and
because
races
you were Somerset, so it's not even far away.
Zeb's not from Somerset.
No, but he's from South Wales, which isn't a million miles away from Somerset.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Sorry.
It's only across the water, isn't it?
Across the bridge, yeah.
Across the bridge, yeah.
That's it. Yeah. So, and I saw Zeb at Hard Rock last year.
Ah, yes.
He was playing, wasn't he? He was good. Yeah, real good.
Dude, he's so good. I didn't stay for the party, as you know, but legit amazing.
Yeah.
Zeb's had some props on this podcast over the last couple of episodes, so let's stop inflating that guy's ego on the world's biggest mountain bike podcast.
Zeb's going to have his own podcast as well, I think.
All right, man, we're back. EWSorBUST 2019. It feels like we're in a whirlwind of time, and we're back again.
It's crazy, isn't it?
I can't get away from you.
I literally was thinking the same. I'm like, shit. Stuck chatting to this guy again. I know.
So we've probably got as well, man. I was thinking to kick this off because we've probably got quite a lot of new listeners since we last recorded an episode.
Yeah,
as you know, this thing's continually growing, and some people are probably checking out EWSorBUST for the first time. So I figured we could do a bit of a introduction / recap.
Oh, I like it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So let's give a little bit of the backstory. So this is my side. Rich will probably tell you something totally different. But from my side, you reached out 3 years ago looking for some support.
Yeah.
And you can admit to that, you know.
Well, I was actually going to say it was completely opposite. I came up with a concept, and I had Davey literally begging me to be on the podcast.
Wow. All right, so let's tell the real story.
So we've got some
conspiracy theories.
How this came about.
Yeah, I think either way we got connected.
No, we did.
And you were looking for some help, and at the time, Hookit was a relatively new company. We still don't really have a load of cash to throw around at stuff like athletes and sponsoring people, etc. So we came up with the concept to start EWSorBUST together.
Yes.
Which was giving you a platform, and myself as well, a platform to talk about your race season on your journey around the EWS race circuit.
Yeah.
Pretty accurate?
Yeah, I think that is it, really.
So rather than, give you, obviously we support you with bike parts too, so you run our 35 bikes components, what else? Ninja's gloves.
Ninja's gloves. You've got the 35 bikes discs. Yeah.
So, obviously we give you that stuff, but then also we are together building this cool little platform of EWSorBUST.
We just chat now, don't we? We just talk a lot of shite together.
Yeah, we do, don't we? It's nice, really, isn't it? You're like a brother
cool,
I never had.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's rad.
No, it is. It's good. So, like, yeah, the EWSorBUST concept it started in 2017, wasn't it? And I really, it literally popped up like 3 weeks before heading out to New Zealand. I think it was like me and the missus thought, oh, let's make a video sort of thing just to document this. And then I said, oh, why don't we make a podcast with it to you as well, didn't it? And then actually it's just grown, and here we are, the 3rd year of it.
And we've seen
people still want to bloom and hear us.
And we've seen really good growth as well, haven't we, over the last sort of couple of years? It's been really exciting. This thing's got its own little fan base, which is really cool. So people keep engaging with it and stuff like that. It's rad. It's
far more established than I ever thought would be, and far more, there's been far kinder words and people getting involved. It's just really nice.
And it's cool that like we're getting to this point now in this 2019 where we've been a little bit more organized and making sure we try and deliver some content which is useful to people and not something to have on in the background while cooking.
yeah in between some of the ramblings there is genuinely like listen-worthy content.
But in all honesty, dude, I think it's really cool, like, because you put a lot of effort into this, making the videos on your own last year. Was it last year? It was most of last year.
I did do, it was Pukey was involved still, so Pukey's still there, but he's a busy lad as well, so he's stepping back a little. So yes, a lot of it's going to be on myself this year.
And the thing is, like, for us as a company, you look at sponsored riders, there's like levels to it. So obviously you get your people who do a lot of Instagram content and stuff like that. But what you've built, and well, in a way, what we've kind of built together is really cool because we've got like a platform where EWSorBUST got its own little thing going on, and it's just rad, dude. Like I'm stoked. I genuinely look forward to chatting to you as well. After the races, I want to know about like where you've been, the journey.
I know
horrible hotels. Like I want to know all about that stuff. It's been cool though, we've had staying with randomers in Canada, we've had
all sorts.
Airbnbs, we've had all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, we've had like some genuinely nice places in like Chile and stuff, and some absolute horrors. Some Bertha, our camper, is featured heavily and still going strong, so that'll be taking part this year. But yeah, I think it's going to be another good year. We've got a few tweaks on last year, like a slightly different game plan, if you like, which we'll get into, and obviously some other cool news which we'll divulge, and I'm sure a lot of people know already, but for those new listeners or new watchers, then there's a fair few differences really from the last couple of years. Every year it's changed. Yeah. Always for the better, I like to think. Change is always good, but this year feels like a really good year, and I feel like I'm well organised and got a good game plan this year.
Yeah, it's cool. And we're going to get into how that came around because it's quite a funny story, I think.
Yeah,
it is. But yeah, it's cool, man. Like I say, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to the year. And again, for people listening, the premise of this whole series will be following Rich around the EWSorBUST series, which we'll get into again shortly. Yep. And there's a video which goes with it, and there's a blog post. There's so much content, and it's all available on Pink Bike usually. It's going to be up on Remap Clothing.
Yeah,
we've got a blog now as well on the new Hook It website, so it'll be up on there as well.
Yeah,
it'll just be a shorter version, but you can get both the video and the podcast there.
You won't be able to escape the links to the videos and podcasts. Let's put it that way. No. Between us, it's everywhere.
Yes, it's everywhere. It'll follow you around
like a good smell,
like Michael Jackson in the 90s.
Oh God!
Sorry, you shouldn't have. Anyway.
Let's do it.
Anyway,
let's get into it, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so where do you want to kick off, dude? So we're just coming out of the off season. We are a month away, give or take, month and a few days away from the first race.
Yes. Well, yes.
In fact, that probably is a perfect segue into talking about what you're doing this year, actually, isn't it?
I suppose. Yeah, it works well.
Because it's going to be really tough to not say what you're doing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you can't really not talk about it, can you? No. So the first EWS of this year is been and gone. It was the weekend that's just happened. It was New Zealand, and it looked a cracker of a race. So obviously I wasn't there. New Zealand's I went 2 years ago. That's where the very first episode of EWSorBUST was recorded, and it's a hell of a place. But
dude, your crank fell off. Was it that one?
Yeah, that was the
Oh,
one.
I'm so sorry, but it's
The
true.
very-
though. The very first episode, you did what, half a run?
I did. I did literally do my very first episode. Yeah, it was half a run. I sort of dejectedly rolled across the finish line to the missus and her friends cheering away as I looked miserable as a lot.
That's a lot.
Crank and pedal in hand, like scooting, thinking, well, that is the most expensive mistake I've made in a long time.
That's funny that was the first round, though, because we had all that hype building up to it. We got this series, we got this, we got that. And then we connected, and you're like, yeah, you're not going to believe what happened. Yeah. Crank fell off.
One stage. One stage is all I did.
But that's what this is. This is literally, this is a privateer's journey around the Enduro World Series. That's what we're after.
It's actually quite cool. We won't get distracted by that, but dig through the archives on either the Hook It podcast or the Remap YouTube channel and go back to the first one. And yeah, it's funny, man. Looking back, it's just good times now. So it's all right. Amazing. The wounds have healed.
Okay. So this year.
For this year. So should we get into this year's plans and what's going on?
Yes.
So it all started, maybe 3 or so months ago, when I put all the EWS entries came out and I put in for them and I got the 6 of the 8 rounds that I wanted to enter, sort of thing. And I was like, oh, sound right. That's them entered. That's kind of get planning, get thinking about it, and get sorting my shit out for the upcoming year, kind of thing. I was sort of doing the numbers and thinking of organising and stuff, and then we're chatting pretty much as we are now, innit? I give you a little catch up on Skype, and your buddy walks in, doesn't he, Swinney?
He does. So
yeah,
James takes things really literally. So a few years ago, when we moved into this house, James used to live around the corner, and I said to him, "Doors always open, mate." As it's just a terminology, isn't it? Doors always open. Yeah, exactly. It's a figure of speech. James takes things really literally. So if the door isn't open, he gets really angry. So he just comes round, which is great. I mean, that's how it should be with your friends. There's nothing to hide. You know what I mean? There's nothing going on. So the door's always open. So me and you are chatting over Skype.
Yeah.
I hear someone walk in, and I'm like, I think someone's in my house, mate.
We're like, what?
I think someone's walking around downstairs. So I shout down. Obviously doesn't answer because he thinks it's hilarious. And it's James. So James, for those who don't know, James rides for Kotick and has done a few EWS rounds.
Yeah, he's a good rider, isn't he?
He is, yeah. PMBA champion last year, etc. So, yeah, James came round, basically. So, carry on.
All right, so yeah, Swinney comes round, and we're chatting away, and he sort of just joins in the conversation, really, doesn't he? And we're chatting, and I think I just said to him, "Are you doing any EWS races this year, Swinney?" And he's like, just no time and money, can't really, just don't think I'm going to get into it," didn't he?
Yeah.
So I said, "Oh, what are you up to?" And he goes, "Oh, I'm doing the Continental Series." So the EWS now runs about 6 trillion series all across the world. They've got series everywhere now, and one of them is the Continental Series, which is like a Euro series basically. Yeah. So it's 4 rounds dotted across Europe, in some sick venues like they always do. So it's an EWS race, but branded as a Euro Continental thing. And he says he's doing that, doesn't he?
He did.
I didn't even really think of it or never heard of it, almost, to be honest, because I was so focused on the main races. And he goes, yeah, they're like slightly shorter events, like 1-day events, and you can sort of just blitz in and out Thursday, come back Monday. And we were like, it's sort of a light bulb moment in a way, wasn't it? We're like, well...
I think because the conversation we were having before is you couldn't make it to New Zealand, you were struggling for that one.
And America,
and it's like
we were like,
it's going to be tough.
We were just getting, and I was like, you never get a good overall in the EWS unless you do them all, really, and it costs a fortune to do them all, as we know, and time and effort and all that sort of stuff. And then so this 4-round Continental Series just seemed to kind of make sense. slightly cheaper to do.
Yeah.
Europe based, so it's a lot easier to get to. 4 rounds, so it's you can commit to all 4 rounds. That's not really an issue, and you'll end up it gives you something to aim for each round and aim for a good overall, and it kind of just made sense, didn't it?
Yeah, totally.
And actually, it frees up some money to then do other races rather than trying to focus on bloomin' Whistler and New Zealand and these places that cost. For the cost of New Zealand, you can do almost 3 of the bloomin' continental races.
I'd be interested to see, actually, something we probably should have looked into, how many people like yourself would do all rounds of the EWS series. Do you often see the same people at the mall that are, in a similar position to you, maybe
no
self-funded, that are getting, I wouldn't have thought so either.
Not many.
I'd say, the top 50 do all of them?
The top 50 probably do all of them. And then you might get, say, 10 privateer guys who will try and do as many like I do.
Yeah.
And then you'll see, a couple of, the New Zealand dudes. You'd see them in New Zealand and maybe slightly further away ones. And you'll see, all the British guys. You'll see, lots of the Brits at a lot of the European rounds and stuff like that. But then a lot of those guys might not go to Canada or something like that. So, yeah. So it just seemed to make sense. I was like, that's actually a really good idea, Swinny. And so then almost that afternoon, got looking into it and we're like, yeah, I think we're going to do that.
Yeah.
So that is this year's plan.
I think it's cool. It's really, really cool because one thing actually I couldn't figure out, did they do this series last year?
No.
But they had a continental series, but not a European continental series.
I think it was a yeah.
It's really difficult to find out, actually.
It's quite a confusing setup, but I think they did a continental series, but it was just lots of different continents.
Right.
So there's races everywhere.
Right.
Whereas now it's like each continent has its own series.
Yes. Yeah.
Obviously,
so you've got Asia, you've got North America, I think, etc.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're doing the European continental series.
Yes. But we're also doing a couple of select EWS races this year. So we're still at Madeira, and we've got an entry for Canada. I know it sounds nuts, but, I kept that entry just to see. And obviously, UK Nationals and a few one-off events like at Transcend Festival in Scotland and Hard Rock. And yeah. So, doing the Continental Series just basically freed up cash to do more races rather than putting all my eggs in those, EWS basket.
Yeah, literally all your eggs, all the cash goes into that pot and off you go.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. And then you're just, you get a bit stressed because you're like, fuck, I've spent all this money and I don't want to do rubbish.
But that's the thing we were talking about, especially towards the end of last year, wasn't it? It's like this thing still has to be fun.
Yeah.
And not feeling dude, there's got to be that aspect of you've gone to New Zealand, cranks fell off, that.
Gutted.
Yeah, it happened. You know what I mean? You can't really just be like, oh, well, on to the next one because it's all paid for and it doesn't matter and my hotels are booked. It's like, no, you've self-funded this whole trip, which, is in multiple thousands of pounds, and you come home. Sorry, I can see you getting upset again, mate. I'm so sorry. But it's true, though, isn't it? There has to be the fun to... the fun ratio has got to be there, and it's got to be weighted 100%. Heavily into the fun side of it, right?
Exactly. And then, as soon as I sort of decided to do that, I put an email into the EWS, got a refund on a few rounds and stuff like this, and then, the entry fees, by the way, for this Continental Series are half the price.
Yeah,
almost. It's mental. So two EWS races are the equivalent to the 4 Conti races. I don't know. It's bonkers. And I just it was like a weight off my shoulder that I could aim for some new races, still go to some cool different venues, aim for an overall, and have some quids left over to head over to the UK and do a few bits and bobs.
Yeah.
I was like, winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah, big time. So props James, really. James Swindon for calling in unannounced.
Paving the way.
No problems at all. Good lad.
I know. Yeah, so that's this year's race plans. And, like I said, there is still some EWS in there, and the target is still doing really well.
Yes.
But so now we're not only documenting some of the EWS races, we're going to document call it the tier down, if you like. I'm not, whatever you want to call it, but those feeder series into the main events, if you like.
Yeah. Because that's almost what they're marketing it as, is like a feeder series into it. So you get your points and then you can qualify to do the actual series.
We're basically doing arena cross.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it, actually. Yeah, we're playing Division 1 football.
Yeah, we're in arena cross. We're also going to mix it up with the mains.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah?
Probably going to be an LCQ thrown in there at some point as well.
100%.
No, it's exciting, dude. I'm excited. I think it's going to be cool as well because you're going on. I think you almost know when you go out to the EWS what it's going to be like. You know what the race is going to be like. You know the setup's big. This is a whole new ball game. You don't know, and it's going to be good for people listening because this is more achievable for a lot of people.
Yeah, so that's the thing now. So the Continental Series, you don't need to pre-qualify. You don't need any point. You can just enter them.
Yeah. So it is more achievable for especially some of our listeners.
Yeah, I mean, there's a round in Scotland, so all you guys out there, you could literally race an EWS Continental round up at, I think it's in Leafon.
Yeah.
We'll be there. Come say hello.
Yeah.
Get your entry in. It's just because they do it, the Continental Series is not standalone events as such. They're sort of combined. So this Continental round in Scotland is actually part of the Scottish Enduro Series.
Okay, right. So it's just thrown into the mix with that. So you'll get all those guys anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus, I don't know if people come over. I literally have no idea what to expect from them, so it's pretty cool.
I was trying to figure that out as well today. What sort of caliber of ride are you going to get?
Yeah.
Because the first one is the same weekend as the downhill in Maribor.
Okay.
So that's going to rule out a few people.
Yeah.
But some of them are free weekends, so you could get anyone. I mean, literally anybody. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's exciting to know. So it's like almost a slight reset, just a rewind and a step into the unknown again.
I'm excited. Honestly, I am because it's going to be cool. It's a whole new story. See what the events are like.
Yeah.
Marketing the hell out of it for the EWS Enduro World Series.
I know.
Jesus.
Chris Ball, we are commission here, mate. Come on.
Jesus.
Per entry. It's cool, and still going to give it nothing less than 100%. Still going for. I've no idea. EWS, we always had top 100 was our target. I mean, I don't really know what to aim for on these, so it could be interesting.
I remember when we very first started, the target was top 50. So I want to, if we're resetting back to top 50 for me.
Yeah, easy. All right, done.
Yeah?
Like over there, a handshake.
Dude, top 50. Listeners heard it. We're aiming for a top 50. Remember all that conversation we just had about no pressure, and it's like, it's all right. You've just got a few thousand people now wanting the top 50 out of you. Probably tens of thousands of people want top 50s, but it's all good. It's all good.
You come 51st, and everyone's like, "Do you remember when Davey said that?" Yeah. All the haters.
I'm not listening to any more.
Boycott the podcast.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Yeah. So it's keen. We got some British nationals we're booked in for. EWS Madeira's booked up. I'm on the ball this year. I'm doing good.
So out of the available weekends over the next sort of, what would you say, 6 months? Give or take, it's probably 6 months of a race season, isn't it?
Yeah, right up to October.
How many weekends are you riding?
A lot of them.
Really?
I don't know.
Okay.
But I've as we know, the last couple of years things get booked quite late, and they're all a bit I don't want to say winged, but they just fitting it around work and life and how much money's in the bank. You kind of end up booking things quite late. But I had a fairly good winter of work this year, so a lot of things are booked up. All the travel is booked up till the end of May, beginning of June, and that's about 6 weeks or something. It's booked up. Yeah.
And again, for people listening, Rich is a stonemason by trade.
Yep.
And you've been over there building that wall.
The Great Wall. Yeah.
The Jersey Divide.
Yeah, east and west. Yeah. If there were any Mexicans, we'd keep them out. Yeah, so I don't know. It's just a above average winter. So obviously that's always a bonus in the building trade. So yeah, we've got 2 nationals booked up and paid for. We've got 2 continental races booked up and paid for. Madeira EWS is booked up. Travel, hire cars, the full works, man.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm on it.
Amazing. And is it looking like it will be an easier year on the old pocket?
That depends on just how many races I add in there, I guess.
Right. Okay. Because one of the sort of takeaways from, sorry to interrupt you, one of the takeaways from last year was we did, especially the last episode, we looked at it and we were like, this has cost X amount of money. Just so people knew, how committed you were to this whole thing.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to know, not an exact figure, but if it is going to come in under that, and if people could do this series for less than, say...
Definitely. I already can tell you they can.
Right, okay.
100%.
So could you do a whole series for around less than £5,000?
I think, the Continental Series for sure.
That's
especially... Brilliant. Yeah, definitely could. Because, I don't know, say, I guess most of our listeners are probably UK-based, or a lot of them.
A lot of them, yeah.
So you've already got a race in your own country. You got Scotland.
Yep.
Be it if you're down south, it's still a trek, but there's no boats or anything like that.
Yeah.
You've then got to hop across to France and Italy, not the biggest of drives from the UK, and one in Slovenia, best to fly to. So they're far more obtainable. You're not going like we've just had New Zealand for the first EWS, and then back to back Tasmania.
Yeah, over to ours. Yeah, that's a haul. Yeah. Even though New Zealand and Australia are relatively close, it's probably, I think it's like a 4-hour flight.
Yeah, but it's
still
the eternal flights in Australia then as well.
And you're still away for
4 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
It's minimum 3 weeks, bud, because you can't go out to those places like you go out to a Conti race, you're going out on Thursday, the day before practice sort of thing or something. You have to go out almost a week before because you're ruined from jet lag and stuff.
Yeah, and you don't want that, do you? Going all that way.
No, I was wiped out for 3 days. I was like, it took me about 3 days to get to normal.
Right. So yeah, easier on the body as well. This whole series. So that's a huge bonus.
Touch wood.
Yeah.
Should be. So I see it as. I mean, there's not the. So should we say like the prestige, or I don't think they're going. I mean, again, I don't know, but I don't think they're going to be quite as hard a race.
Okay.
In the sense of distance or physicality, but I don't know.
There's no courses released or anything, right?
No, they're generally 1 day events.
Yeah.
So an EWS is normally practice Thursday, Friday, race Saturday, Sunday. As we know, these are practice Saturday, smash it Sunday. Just 1 day loops or something, rather than big 2 day loops. And so they should be physically less demanding in that sense. But the tracks can still be as technical and hard.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
We're still talking big mountains and stuff like that.
Well, Innerleithen's going to be hard as hell. No, you can guarantee that, can't you? So,
yeah, definitely. And we're going back to Slovenia this year.
Okay.
So Slovenia was an EWS last year, and it's holding a continental race this year. So they're tough tracks because I've been there.
Yeah,
and they are really hard tracks.
How'd you get on in Slovenia? Was that where you hit that horse? Was that Slovenia?
No, that was Chile.
Was it? Of course.
Yeah, that was Chile. But no, Slovenia was a top 100. Good race. Tough conditions, but yeah, fun. So yeah, I'm keen as mustard.
Awesome. I'm excited, dude. I am. I'm genuinely excited. I think it's as well, like we said before, a little bit more organised. We've got a bit more of a plan.
We do, yeah.
It's just a bit more streamlined, hopefully.
We're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting there, aren't we?
Well, to be fair, it's amazing that there's a third series, let alone like any organisation to it. So
it's cool.
It's cool.
Yeah, man. All right, so tell me about your off season a little bit, because you've known now for three months that you've got this series coming up. First race is the end of April. How have you been preparing? What's been going on?
So I came into the off at the end of last year. Obviously, I crashed out of Spain, fractured wrist, Spanish hospital. Boo-hoo, sad times. That was good. So I was off I took sort of almost say a month or so and just chilled, did some riding, no training, just a couple of weeks of no bike to let the wrist heal, and then some road bikes, and then sort of like we said earlier, the plan was to race EWS again, or go for it as what we could. So it was like I've been training, gym work with Jersey Sports Foundation, and Sam there, my coach, has been getting me strong and doing rehab and stuff on the wrist.
Yes.
So there's been I've not altered like my off season training wise or bike wise, anything like that. I've still been preparing as if I'm coming into a full-on race season, which I am. If anything, I'm racing more this year because my money go to more races. So it's been a really good off season of like, the weather actually in Jersey over here has been pretty good. We haven't had much.
No, I think we've been blessed across like the UK and Jersey. To be fair, we've barely had any snow.
No snow, man.
Yeah,
but we didn't even have much rain really this winter.
Exactly, same. And I was thinking about that today driving home. It was beautiful. It was like 18 degrees.
Yeah.
And it's like, is that it then? Is that winter? Is it gone? Or
I reckon.
Yeah, I think so
it's
too.
nearly April, isn't it? So
yeah. I seen a bee today and everything.
God, yeah.
You know when you see a bee that,
spring has sprung.
Spring has sprung. The bees are out.
So that's it. So this, I try. What I've done a bit different is I've tried to do more mountain biking, if that makes sense, this off season. So I've still got my gym gains going on. That doesn't really affect my ride, and I do that in the evenings and stuff. And I've been on the turbo because it is, you still winter, it's still minging out and early nights and that sort of stuff. So the turbo's been going down, but then I've just been trying to like put good mountain bike time in.
Okay.
It's like, just really good.
Just going out and doing long loops on a Sunday sort of thing.
Like enjoying being on a mountain bike. Because the road, like I struggle road riding. Every year I struggle just. Who wants to go out and do a 3-hour road ride around an island that's 9x5 is tough.
It's like a speedway track.
It's laps.
It's literally that. Isn't that NASCAR?
Yeah, just keep turning left.
Jersey's just a floating NASCAR circuit in the ocean.
So I found that in previous years I found it pretty tough. So the longer rides that I do for training, I now do on my mountain bike more. This is more fun, and I can see, I got an XC bike as well. I do a bit on the road with it, and then I'll hop on a path and do some off road and stuff like that. So it's a bit better than just having just going around the same roads for hours on end. So so that's been the main off season plan. And then now that I know, in previous years, I wouldn't maybe know if I was doing the first round until really last minute and stuff like this. So from back in January when we said, right, it's a Continental Series, that's like
you've got an aim.
A solid start date, exactly, and a solid first. Well, actually, it's the first Nationals a couple of weeks before, and I knew I was doing that. So that that gave me that thing, that solid date to then plan a program and just sort my stuff out and get my shit in order for those set dates now. And now that stuff's booked up, it means I can be more organised in between as well, rather than like, oh, I've booked up a couple of races, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do the next one, say. But now those are in the books.
Yeah. Gym, so you've been in the gym. I think people are always interested to know about what sort of training you do in the gym, because it's probably the most asked question, I think, when we do these. It's what have you been doing in the gym? So regular routine, what's it look like?
Go in. I drink.
It's always a start, isn't it?
Yeah, go in. Drink 5 raw eggs. I flex in front of the mirror for about 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I walk around like I got watermelons under my arms, and then I generally go.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Rocky of Jersey, right there.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
I get my head up and I just punch a punching bag for like an hour and a half till I'm really sweaty. No, I do legit stuff. So, like I said, Jersey Sports Foundation. They are a charity which help Jersey athletes who, would maybe otherwise have to pay or just to help them get a bit more structured and organised. So they actually write a programme. I talk to them and tell them when my races are and stuff, and then they sort of plan and tell me what to do, kind of thing. So actually, my programme is quite varied and quite structured at the same time, and it will be anything from like lots of isometric work, holds and stuff like that, to eccentric slow movement work, to explosive power stuff, lots of plyometrics, jumping on boxes, and then they integrate that into like the bike stuff I do. So actually, for me personally, I never feel like I struggle with leg power. We do like work just to keep that ticking over. So jump squats, box jumps, all that sort of normal stuff. But actually, because I I can't train for like the really rough long stuff over here.
Yeah.
I try and do a lot of upper body and core strength work.
Got you.
To sort of counteract that, so that when I get to a real gnarly track, I am, I'm not dying by the end of it.
Yeah.
And I bought that in last year, and then that's been a big focus this year. So this off season is lots of upper body and core work.
Because there's a struggle. I can't remember if it was first series or second series where you're struggling with arm pump and stuff. Then you switched it up a little bit, and it seems to be good from there.
Yeah, it was first series when I did Whistler, and we did that top of the world stage. It was like 22 minutes, and I was like, "What a buff this is!" My arms were like little sparrow wings by the just sort of couldn't hack it. And from then on, I was like, "Man, I need to be stronger."
Yeah.
So good. So that's what I've worked on.
Perfect. I like
it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, one of the other things we need to sort of discuss is new bike. I mean, that's the biggest thing, really.
It's a biggie, isn't it?
That's probably the second biggest thing as far as moving series.
Yeah, actually being here.
Yeah, exactly.
The new bike.
Yeah, and then a new bike. So, all right, cool. It's cool. I mean, you give me the breakdown of how this thing came around and all that stuff, and let's be honest.
Okay.
Let's be honest.
Do you want me to take over from here?
Yeah, I want you to be honest about how this thing came around.
Okay. Well, it came around when I met these guys at Hard Rock last year.
Okay.
So I met the guys Chris and Ben from DV8 Bikes last year because they were in the stand next to Ridge Components, who obviously hooked me up for my wheels. And I saw it there. That I was just chatting to the guys at Ridge, and then I'm looking next door, and there's this crazy looking bike. And it's crazy in comparison to most bikes. It don't look like a Trek, let's put it that way.
No, it doesn't look like a Trek.
And I'm looking over, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. And I sort of just go over, get chatting to them, and just sort of, chatting away and stuff like that. And turns out they're from Bristol, which ain't far from where I'm from.
No.
Like Wells, back home in Somerset. And I'm like, man, can I take one for a spin on a demo loop? I've never tried a gearbox bike. So this is a gearbox bike, and I'm the pinion gearbox. And I take it out. Me and the missus go out on the demo loop, and we're giving it all the beans and just having a whirl round in a right time. This is after the race, so I was pretty tired. But so I mean, I don't know. It caught my eye. It was like something that looked real cool and real unique, and sort of it's not. These things aren't made in Bristol because no bikes are made anywhere other than China, really. So it's it's designed and tested, and Chris, who's like the engineer of it, he makes all these crazy jigs. He's just some nutty professor on the lathe and that.
Right.
And so he makes like all the metal test mules before.
Okay.
To try for angles and how suspension works, and what positions to put things in shock-wise and stuff like that. And then obviously the numbers and the CAD drawings and all that gets sent away and put into carbon molds and prototypes and stuff like that. So it's Bristol.
They've not been around for that long either, which is cool that they're coming on board. They've been around for a few years, I think. A couple of years?
No, I think they're about a year and a half old.
Are they? Okay.
So they started selling. Yeah. So wow. I think beginning of 2018 was when they first went on sale. Awesome. So last year was their first proper year, if you like. So wow.
So it's cool. Like we're also supporting a startup with EWSorBUST.
Yeah.
This is really cool.
Yeah, after chatting to them loads and it was a cool bike. I was impressed with it. First impressions were really good, and I literally just hopped on a demo bike and went for a spin, no setup or nothing like that. And I actually liked it. I got on well with it. It's got an idler pulley on it, so it's a high idler design, high chain line, gearbox, nothing to brake on it. Literally changed the oil in the gearbox. It's sweet.
Really?
I don't even have to. I shouldn't say I barely look after it. That doesn't sound so good, does it?
They might be listening.
Yeah.
Just jet wash it, put it in the garage.
Just spray that like silicone spray everywhere. We kept chatting over the winter, and the plan again was obviously to like see if anyone wanted to get on board for this coming year. We had a few bits of like things up in the air and a few offers and stuff like that from other companies.
I think sorry to interrupt, but I think what's really interesting to me is, and probably for people listening, is how early these deals get done. Because you always think, oh, we're ahead of it. It's, November.
Yeah.
And then you reach out to some companies and they're like, oh no, we've already we've used our marketing budget. If you want a discount bike, no problem. And it's like, wow, we thought we were early again, but we're not. Yeah. So that's always really interesting because
this is good. Sorry, man. This is good because they'd always been in the back of my mind because I like the fact that they were a startup. They're different. They're Bristol based. They are onto a good thing. The bike is wicked. These are all obviously really, good starting points. So, like you just said, everything gets sort of tied down basically as the current race season's finishing up.
It's true.
It's true. October, November, really at the latest. So I pinged out loads of emails. I heard back from these guys and went over to meet them. Like I said, Bristol based. I went back home for a weekend and we went riding and testing and stuff like this and had to go on it. And it just worked out really good. I was, once I'd got put we got the Fox suspension front and rear and we got it set up how I liked it and how it fitted me properly. And we went up into the local woods. I did back-to-back times on some runs with my previous bike and was faster straight up, a couple of seconds quicker on these runs that I knew. And was already putting faster times in. So we were like, sign me up, sound.
Okay.
Done. I took a bike home there, back with me there
really?
And then. And they've been we've been chatting loads, really getting on well. And they're just as excited for the season as I am. So
it's cool. Yeah, I had obviously a good conversation with them as well when I explained what we did with this because it's tough to explain. Probably a lot of people and some of the brands out there I think might have, without sounding like too much of a dick, they might have overlooked the following this has got and the engagement and stuff.
They quite get it, do they?
I think we're still in some ways quite ahead of our time a little bit with what we're doing. Cool. If I'm on, definitely though, dude. I mean, if you mention how many listens this gets and then you combine it with the video.
With the original Private Ear Life.
It's pretty big. Do you know what I mean? It's decent. It's a lot more than a lot of athletes who are in that top 50 will be getting 100%. 100%. I can guarantee it, for sure. So it's interesting. It is interesting. But I'm stoked that these guys are involved, man. I really am. And like I say, when I spoke to them, they were nice, really nice guys. They're hammering down, building this business, and in some ways, it's really nice to be able to bring them on board and help promote this business because it is, like you said, it's a startup, which is cool.
Yeah, well, so for them to take a punt on me as well is
again,
it's nice,
credit to them.
It's nice to have that. Those guys have sort of trusted me to, they're giving me a bike, and support and backup, and they. They're trusting me as much as I'm trusting them on a new bike. So,
and tell me about the bike. What's it like?
So it's the DV8. The model of the bike is called the Guide.
Okay.
It came about when Ben owns a guiding company. One of the owners of DV8. He owns a guiding company. He does France and Italy and all this stuff. And the idea, as far as I'm aware, it came around what always breaks on a bike the most, and it's your gears, isn't it?
Yep.
Gears are when you're riding big mountain stuff for all day long, it's your gears that go wrong most of the time. Dropping a chain, snapping a mech, rocks coming up and whacking it off, stuff like that. So they were like, how, what can we do to get rid of this? And that's where the gearbox obviously came in. That gets rid of anything. I call it no mech, no problems. I don't need to do nothing to it. And then working around that, they, the Chris, the engineer side of it, I guess, came up with the high pivot design with the idler pulley and stuff. And then coupled that with the pinion, it makes a sick suspension platform. The weight's so low, and there's no pedal kickback from any of it because there's no mech or anything, and no, where that high chain line runs. it's sound. It grips. It tracks the ground like glue. It's unbelievable. Yeah, I actually run my suspension a bit quicker on it to give me a bit of pop because it's so grippy.
Really? Wow.
Because it, like, say if you were to compress to hop over something, it would actually absorb everything and run not so flat over stuff that actually I run it a little quicker to get that, like, a bit of spring in its step sort of thing.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It looks the business, and it is a bit of a head turner of a bike. Have you had some comments already, like, out riding or? Oh
yeah, but like, you know, half the time like people are like, "Where's the mech and stuff?" And you're like, "It's all in this box, buddy. It's all the magic's down in here." And also, actually, obviously, a lot of every bike nowadays is boost. This is still 135 on the rear.
Okay.
So it's obviously narrow, and I think. Hopefully I'll get this right, but it's because you can run a straight chain line because you've only got one sprocket at the back, obviously, because it's essentially a single speed.
Yeah.
So you don't need the really wide spacing on the rear. So you can also build up a stronger symmetrical hub, like the dish on it.
Tech, I like it. Okay.
Thing. So the rim isn't dished to one side or the other of the hub.
It's straight down the centre.
It's straight in the middle.
Ah, okay. It'd be good to get Chris or Ben maybe to jump on an episode at some point. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Maybe after the first round, we get one of those guys on and just chat through the bike.
Totally. Yeah, you can chat to him. Chris is super clever. Yeah. He's like,
I'm super dumb, so it could be hilarious.
Oh God, yeah. All right. Yeah, so it's cool. It's a wicked bike. It's going to be fun to race and you know, it's also like a learning curve, like I said, for those guys, because they're good, capable riders. But to like push that bike outside of its comfort zone and really hammer it will be a really good experiment as well.
Yeah, for sure. Exciting, dude. So you're going to be doing a bit of product development as well, like.
I'll be chipping in. Yeah, they got some other projects in the works as well, which you'll find out in the future. So yeah, it's cool to kind of be helping in a little on that side as well.
Okay.
And like I said, we got Ridge Components back on board again this year. Steve at Ridge sorting me out wheels, so we got some sweet looking solid wheels coming on board.
And they were actually good for you last year. There was no issues at all, right?
Oh man, like in the past I've broken a fair few wheels, and these wheels are solid. Like
sick.
They're those rims, those carbon rims of theirs, I thoroughly tested, shall we say?
Really?
Thoroughly tested. Like I took at the end of last season, I took the Huck Norris out of one of my wheels, and there are so many slits in the Huck Norris from where it compresses. Obviously, the tire gets squished against the rim, and there's slices in the Huck Norris, but the rims are still sound.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's rad.
So I mean, I don't want to sound biased, but I can. If you're after a solid carbon wheel, they are solid.
Sick.
Yeah. So we got a wicked bike built up this year. We're all good. We're all good.
Yeah, for sure. Any other sponsors on board, or are you sticking with the same?
We're the same.
Keeping it simple, right? It's the beauty of it, you know. I know we brought on a few people last year. Remember when we did the whole we need a food sponsor, and then Wild Trail stepped in, but let's keep it simple.
This year,
you're saving money. You're buying your own bloody energy bars this year.
Yeah,
it was that bad last year. We were hustling for energy bars.
It was bad. Like just trying to save the pennies.
Rich Bain, sponsored by Super Noodles.
Yeah, wait, I take a pack of Super Noodles.
Just crunch them up in your pocket and let's rip.
Terrible cook. Yeah, yeah. No, we've gone back. I've got a few sort of cool things that I don't think even you know about yet, which they'll be released soon enough. But
rad.
As far as like the main sponsors, we got like yourselves, Hook It Products, Deviate Bikes, Ridge Components, and Remap Clothing. Okay. Boom. Close, like a real, like over the few years, it's like a close knit kind of. Everyone knows where they stand. It's real cool. Everyone helps each other out, and that's what you need, isn't it?
Yeah,
and it takes us, you're not like, I don't know, trying to beg left, right, and centre. You're not thinking about, you haven't got to promote every little thing here and there. It's cool.
Yeah. Let people come to you as well. I think that's always a nice thing. People will figure out this is a good thing to be involved in.
Yeah, I mean, it just takes some stress off of me as well.
It does, for sure.
I don't want to, I don't want to promote whatever, just because I need it or something. You know, I kind of took a step back in that sense and thought, you know what, like for the sake of someone not providing very much but wanting loads out of it, doesn't seem very fair.
Yeah.
Like I said, the core 4 of us that we got on now, everyone's pulling their weight. Everyone's, you know, doing what they should be doing and getting fair things in return, and we're just all having fun now.
Yes, I agree. We're a nice little EWSorBUST family
unit, innit?
EWS crew.
Yes, squad goals.
Yeah, bro. All right, we're gonna try and keep this one relatively short, aren't we? We touched.
Yeah, we're an hour and a half in, so
yeah. Well, we touched on it a little bit, but just before we do a few listener questions, targets for this year and anything else. I mean, what are you aiming for? We touched on it really quickly, but I've thrown the top 50 out there. But realistically, are you aiming for the top 20?
No, I'm going to go higher than top 50. Top 30. I'm going top 30. I don't even know why. I have no idea what I'm doing. We'll go top 30 at this continental races. Why not?
Yep.
And then nationals. It's different this year actually because I'm an old boy. I'm in masters. They don't have an elite category or any of the nationals this year. So everyone's in their age category.
That's right.
That puts me in masters. So we're going to go top 5s.
How old are you?
33.
Okay. It's crazy, isn't it? Masters, top 33. That means I'd be in Masters as well. I'm 32.
Yeah, there you go. You young whippersnapper.
I know, right?
So, yeah, we're going top 5s. Top 5s nationally, top 30 continental. And for the EWSs, we'll stick with those top 100s because they're a good, achievable target.
Yeah.
And no one, I don't want, you know, we've been doing it a few years now. We've not really been that close to the top 50. So let's be realistic, innit?
Let's be realistic.
You know, there's no point saying.
Don't be coming away from there disappointed.
Exactly, man. I'm a realist.
Yeah.
And then the other target is to always be smiling.
Oh, bless you.
No.
Jeez.
Yeah. That was pretty cheesy, wasn't it?
Yeah. Is there anything else you think that we need to touch on before we do some listener questions?
No, I don't think so.
No, I think we've covered most stuff, you know, as far as the preseason stuff goes.
So?
Yeah, I think so too. All right.
I could. No, I can't think of anything else.
Okay.
We've talked about bikes. We've talked about sponsors and training and
history.
Yeah, we've got Back to the Future a little, haven't we? I think that's it.
All right. Let's do some listener questions. And again, if you're new to EWSorBUST, if you've got any questions for Rich, before we record the episode, fire them over to us and we'll make sure that they get answered, whether it's about the race, about training, about the bike, setup, travel. If you just want to try and get Amy's number, just fire them over. It's no problem. Okay. First one. Adam Barker 13 on the old Instagram. How does age affect performance and fitness? Go Pain. Go Pain! We're going to get some Go Pain t-shirts made too.
Hang on. Let's get, how does age... What was it? How does age...
affect performance and fitness?
Oh, yeah, you'd have to ask on that one.
We are asking. We're asking you.
Yeah. All right. I'm thinking. How does age affect performance and fitness? I don't know. I suppose recovery... I don't want to say I've noticed that recovery is tougher because I still push as hard. Like I still train like flat out because I'm pretty motivated on that side of things. So I suppose it doesn't yet affect me too much.
Can I give you my perspective really quickly?
No.
All right.
Yeah, go on.
With age comes responsibility. Comes time constraints. That's the toughest thing. It is. So you need to make time.
Doesn't work like that.
Does it not?
No, 100% no way.
Wow, it does for me, especially running businesses and stuff like that.
No, because then I do shit. Definitely don't think like that ever. Wow. I promise you. That's like as a like maybe not performance and whatever the question was. Sorry, but like mentally, then I don't think about. I do not worry about not being able to work.
No, that's not what I meant.
What you just said, responsibility.
Time constraints, things to do.
You just said running a business.
Yeah, that's true. All right, fair enough. Yeah. I didn't really think
And
of the,
I
wasn't
run
thinking
two
of the
businesses.
injury side of it. I was thinking of the whole getting home late and having to
No.
find motivation to go to the gym when you may
Oh,
be
okay,
thinking.
sorry. Yeah,
that-
okay. Well, in that sense, no either.
Fair enough.
No. I will generally try and work will be planned more around bikes and having fun than planning fun around having to work all the time.
You're lucky in that respect.
Well, yeah,
For a lot of the population, that's not achievable.
I feel very lucky that I can do that. Don't get me wrong. But don't get me wrong. That comes with a lot of stress as well because you still got to earn money. You know, you're just trying to have fun and ride bikes all the time. Unfortunately, for me, doesn't pay the bills. So you still got to, but the thing, like say through the winter, if I can get off of work at 2 and go ride in the daylight and have some fun, and if there's a friend who can as well, then I will 100% try and do that and then catch up on my work elsewhere or do the paperwork really late, like later in the evening when it's dark and miserable and stuff outside.
Yeah.
And I know that I've got the most out of riding that I can, and had a good time, but you still can't escape the work.
No, not at all. It's true.
Yeah.
Okay. Good answer.
I think that's a good answer.
Yeah, it is. No, for sure. Next one was from on the old Instagram. We've kind of answered it, but let's do it anyway. At Josh Morris 05. What place are you hoping to come?
Yeah. So like I said, top 30s continental, top 5s nationally. I think those are realistic, good targets.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
I think.
No,
Yeah.
I'm with you,
Hope
mate.
that
I'm with you.
helps,
I'm with you. I'm with you. At R_Bunting, tell us more about the new bike.
We have covered quite a lot of these, haven't we?
Yes.
Well, yeah, like I said, it's...
Where can people find out more about this bike? How's that one?
Well, you can head over to, I think it's deviatecycles.co.uk or .com. Yeah, and just have a look. They've got like some really cool, what do you call it, like little information-y videos. What would you call them?
Information
just
videos,
like
I'd call them.
Yeah, just like graphics and stuff. Because, a gearbox is still very new to a lot of people, say, isn't it? Although it's been around for quite a while, it's opinion has slowly refined it more and more and more. And like how Deviate have integrated it into the bike is really clever. And how, like, with the high chain line and stuff, obviously lots of companies are doing that now, but not with a gearbox. So, yeah, if you head over to their website or Insta page and stuff, they've got some really cool, like infomercially, graphic-y type things to show why this does what and how it does it and stuff like that. And as far as riding it goes, obviously I picked mine up last November, I think it was. And I suppose it links back to when I said earlier I've been doing a lot of like on the mountain bike training, and that is to get used to riding the DV8 with its really clever suspension and gearbox, to get used to that rather than just smashing out road miles.
Yeah.
Obviously, you kind of, because you have to learn how to change gear a little differently.
Yeah.
It just works. It works different to a standard mech and trigger shifter. Because it's grip shift for a start.
Yeah, it must be cool going back to your kid days. I definitely had grip shift.
Noises.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So it's good. It's been a good challenge and a positive one over the winter. So I hope that helps.
That's good. We also got a question in from at Kerno Freeze, the man himself.
Yeah.
What's the trick to having a race head and keeping it if you make a mistake early on in a race day? P.S. Buzzing for 2019 EWS or bust.
Cheers, buddy. We're
Good
buzzing
question.
too.
Good question. That.
Yeah. I tell you what, we'll link that on back to that previous question about age affecting performance and stuff. I guess now I've been doing it for a while that I've just I'm way pretty chilled out with it, and I try not. I just know that the enduro races, unlike downhill, are more of the long game.
Yeah.
So if you start off bad, you've got generally enough time to try and make stuff back and still get a good result, or if you have a bad first stage, say, and then nail the second stage, it just makes your emotions go like a big roller coaster. So suddenly, all of a sudden, you may have sucked on the first stage, but you nail that second one, and then you're good to go for the rest of the day. You think, right, first stage didn't go well. You know, I nailed the second, so let's put that first one behind me and just smash it the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Because I know I've got 4 stages more
to crack on with, yeah.
To crack on. Whereas, say, like, you know, downhill's everything, so split second in it. If you messed up 4th corner in, it's probably going to mess your head up for that 3 minutes. That's all you've got. And where, you know, downhill, you're like a squillionth of a second can be a lot of places. So I just try and stay as positive as I can, unless you snap a crank, in which case I get really pissed off.
And get on the next flight out of New Zealand.
Yeah, I'm out of there. Yeah, so I hope that helps, Kerno, bud.
That's cool. All right, man. I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think we covered things, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. Yeah, for sure, man. It's been good to catch up as well.
Yeah.
And I'm excited. I'm stoked for the season. People listening, reach out. Let us know you've listened.
Yeah.
Get involved. We've got some things happening too, haven't we, behind the scenes? We're hoping to release some merch, which could be really, really cool. We just want to make sure the design is really good.
Yes. Getting some more hand-drawn goodness towards you guys.
Yeah, it's going to be cool, man. We got some teas and stuff coming out.
Yeah.
EWSorBUST, so you guys can represent, and all the money earned is going to go into helping Rich with his racing as well.
It just helps support the cause a little, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But this should be dropping tomorrow, obviously Tuesday.
Yep.
Head over to, like I said, the Remap YouTube channel. You can
make sure you subscribe to that.
Yeah, you can watch the first episode, the preseason, on there. You can also follow the link, which should be in the description for this, I think.
Yes, for sure. We'll have that up by then.
Yeah, it'll be on Pink Bike. There'll be links to everything. Give us a follow on Insta at Painter25 and at Remap Clothing, and check out the Hook It podcast as well on there.
Yeah, man, for sure. And that's it. That's the wrap. That's it. And that's that. It's been a pleasure. See you later. Nah, it's been cool, man. Thank you. We'll catch up soon, though. Don't forget to our sponsors, hookitproducts.co.uk. Enter code EWSorBUST, all lowercase. Get 10% off your any order. And also remapclothing.com. EWSorBUST will get you 10% off as well. Easy. Peace out.
Bye.
Wrap.
Nice.